Oh boy. Let's see what happens this time. I have no idea. Every time I try to stream, I get totally hosed by some BS from. Hey, okay, now it's working. All right. I promised that I would announce if I was going to stream to Twitter and Patreon, so I got to do that next. I'm just going to leave it streaming, and if anyone has any questions, feel free. But you have to understand that I'm incompetent. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, I think that I already grabbed it. I did. Okay. Though when I do the live thing, it says that it's waiting. As far as I know, I'm live right now. So am I not live? It says I am live. Oh, for fuck's sake. See, I work in technology, and yet I feel like an idiot. I feel like an idiot. Can I view on my watch page? It says this video is unavailable. What is going on? I just don't understand. What do I do? I am live and you can see me. Hi, Tim. I'm sorry I'm an idiot, but uh, morning, Frego. I'm not playing Warcraft today, by the way. I know that disappoints everyone whenever I say that, but trying to get some writing done. Oh, trying to stream a novel. Writing 2080 hashtag 2084. So this novel is 2084. I was thinking about 1984, the novel, one of my favorite novels. And I started writing an outline for this, and so I just wanted to start writing the actual novel. And don't feel like you have to ask me questions about this novel or writing in general. You can ask me questions about anything I've worked on. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm just going to start writing and see what happens. Oh, Patreon. I promised Patreon. Fuck. My bad. Two-factor authentication. Boy, just nothing's going to go smoothly for me today, is it? Posts. New post. Choose post type. Video. Post title. Live stream. Novel writing. Novel writing. Trying to write a novel. Let's see how streaming it goes. Not so well so far, must admit. Add tag. No, just publish. Either way, at the very least, okay, that's posted. I fulfilled my promise. Okay, what's this novel about? 2084. In the outline that I've got, we're starting with a student named James. He's going to he's in effectively what is labeled a cult, and they eschew all technology. The year is 2084, by the way. And in the year 2084, most people have a memory chip installed in their brain that also works with their vision and thought patterns to enable them to basically be connected in like this internet of minds. And but the thing is, there's obviously an entity in control of it. In this case, the government. This takes place in the U.S. for now, anyways. Um, but it could be anywhere. And then he goes. This commune, obviously they didn't have anything installed into their brains, so they have sort of, this is sort of like the perspective of like a newbie to the coming into this, which is how I start the novel. So we start in the commune. James awoke to the sound of drums. The gentle rhythm summoned him to breakfast each morning, just as the light of dawn began to pour in through the canopy of the evergreen forest. There he would eat with his family each day. Not a small family by any means. James had many brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, parents, and grandparents. Together, they all lived a very peaceful coexistence in what they knew to be a normal life. James stepped out of his tent and breathed fresh morning air. A slight chill had begun to creep into his day-to-day, indicating he'd soon stockpiling wood for the winter. Though he loved the feel of the axe, chopping motion, he didn't like the bitter cold up here in the mountain village. Soft Lake. It's a shitty name. Typically, you want to use like a metaphorical name, something that would evoke what you're kind of going for. So I would want a name that's like peaceful, but also maybe a little bit naive. Nothing's coming to me. Name later. I think I spelled naive wrong. There you go. Though he loved the feel of the axe and the chopping motion, he didn't like the bitter cold up here in the mountain village of name later. He approached the thanking table, where he picked up his plate and began to receive the morning breakfast from the village elders. Thank you. Thank you, Elder Somsan. You're welcome. You're most welcome, James. Good morning. Thank you, Elder Hollis. You're welcome, James. And a good morning. James walked over to his normal table, though often he would sit at a new table as meeting new people was part of the everyday ritual of his friends and family. In that way, everyone became friends eventually, though by now, James knew everyone quite well and would only change tables if there was a newcomer or a new birth. Either of which would mix up the crowd, either of which would mix up the tables and break the routine. As the elders often said, routine is the enemy of friendship. Routine is the enemy of new friendships. Oh, James sat down. Favorite brother. What do you think, Michael? How about you, Tim? James sat down with his favorite brother, Tim. Exchanged their morning pleasantries. Pleasantries? Oh. Throw names at me if you think of anything. I'm happy to change, and sometimes when you're writing and getting stuff out there, you're just not. Your brain doesn't work the right way. Also, this is a new dynamic trying to stream this, so it's sort of changing my mentality in terms of writing. I think normally I would like painstakingly sit there until I came up with a name, which often maybe it's better to be streaming this because it's forcing me to keep going. Because you can always edit later. That's the thing that I've learned, is that editing is where you actually do all of the proper naming and fixing of things. Tim, what do you like to do? Give me some ideas here. James had just learned how to fix an old mobile smartphone. Making it usable in the village. They often would harvest old technology from the city dumps and repurpose them. Harvest old technology and repurpose them for their own use. In this case, the village had its own internet with an archive of the classic net. Internet before the government usurpation in 2030. Zendu. No, I'm not going to get sued for that, am I? What's Zendu? Oh, a marigold, massage beds, remote access video. I can use it. It's just a village name. No one's gonna come after me for that. Zendu. I like it. It does sound soft and naive. Zendu. Zen. Zen. Meditation. Cool. All right. Let's see. Um, what's Tim doing today? That's true. China will definitely be a world power. I mean, they are a world power right now. They're a nuclear power and they are the second largest economy in the world. So they're already a world power. And they may overtake the US the way things are going right now. Tim, I found a couple of smartphones. Smartphones. Would they use that term? Screen phones. Hey, Cyber Demon. Screen phones. We're going to go with that. I found a couple of screen phones to replace when you broke. Already wired them for direct radio. Want one? Hell yeah. Why did you have time for that? I snuck out. What does this commune do in the evenings? I snuck it after evening songs. They sing. There's a hole. There's a hole in the playground fence. True story. I snuck out of my when I was in kindergarten. I was living in Israel. I snuck out of the kindergarten by digging a hole under the fence. The sandbox was kind of bled into the fence, and so I dug my way out. And they spent the entire afternoon looking for me. What are you doing? Won't you get in trouble? I don't think so. They haven't punished anyone. I figured it was kind of okay to explore now. I don't know, man. I don't know, but thank you. I just don't want you to get in trouble. If it's against the rules. Like, they took down the rules. Why did they take down the rules last year? I'm writing myself into a corner. What was I going for? I think I needed a reason. I think I wanted a reason for them to argue. Sort of an invitation. Hmm. Let's go with Elder Hollis. Elder Hollis had stepped behind James. Finished his breakfast duties. The rustle of grass and a quiet ahem. Yeah, ask me anything. The 3D models for Alpha Warcraft 3? No, those will never be released. In all likelihood, they don't exist anymore because um, there was some sort of backup loss at one point, and we're talking about 16 years ago, 17 years ago. So we're talking about, you know what? Actually, I think all of those models were repurposed, so they're effectively in Warcraft 3. They're just not. They just were changed. So in order to get the Alpha Warcraft 3 models, you would have to go to a backup from 16 years ago, and these were tape backups, by the way. You'd have to go to a backup 16 years ago, find them, and pull them out. There's no reason for them to do that. They have more than enough employees to create or recreate whatever they want. And I mean, I know that it seems like they might look cool, but they're really low poly, really low poly models. Ahem. Alerted James. Conversation had been overheard. Shit. Am I in trouble? James asked. With a slight tremble. No. No, James. You are not. In trouble. Do you put your period before or after your quotes? I've seen it both ways. I've always done it on the inside, but I don't know if that's correct. You are not in trouble. Sat down. Lay a comforting hand on James's shoulder. They're absolutely correct. It's to encourage exploration. And while there is some danger, it is up to the individual. Explore the outer boundaries, or stay locked inside. Otherwise, you would be no better than the city dwellers who enforce their binding rules upon the populace. No, we need a name for the government. Something terrifying. Something totalitarian. Government name. James gave a sigh of relief. Chaos? Is that an acronym, Chaos? What would the acronym be? James gave a sigh of relief and Tim relaxed, his eyes refocusing on Elder Hollis after having been closed in anticipation of utter doom. The easing of tension. Revelation was palpable. Felt the growing love for Elder Hollis. I forgot the name. Zenba? Zendu. Perhaps you could take a look. That's my old computer where I do my writing. It's been acting up again. I might have caught some ancient malware. Yeah, that's fine. I do like brevity, but no, I like the vernacular. Does that sound natural? Perhaps you could take a look at my old computer. It would be ancient malware at this point. What kind of chaos? Cooperative, holistic, agrarian. Blah, I can't spell agrarian. Agrarian. Good frickin' lord. Official S. Cooperative, holistic, agrarian. Oh man. Reforged. Am I hyped for Reforged? Well, I'm glad you're hyped for Reforged. I mean, it's gonna be cool, no matter what. Some of the old team is on it, and if you didn't know, Matt Morris is still there, and he's part of the Reforged team, and he is one of the classic Warcraft 3 designers. So there's that. So guaranteed you got at least one person from the old team. I think everyone else went their separate ways, including myself, of course. Am I hyped for it? I am hyped for it actually, because I do want to play. I do want to replay the Frozen Throne. But now that I know Reforged is there, I'm kind of waiting because I want to play with the new. I want it to look good because I mean, let's face it, those units, the 3D models are old. Um, yeah, I'd love to see new maps. I don't know what they're doing. I know that they're changing my levels. That's fine. It's not like I was the best level designer back then. That's the thing, like you're always improving, right? So something I did 17 years ago obviously is not going to be my best work. The people did seem to love the culling of Stratholme. But really, it's the premise. It's the premise of the culling. It's not really my layout. My layout was not all that great. I just shoved the player in the top right corner because that was the easiest point to put a cinematic and have the city in the background. I'm not even kidding. That was the reason. But we'll see. I heard that they removed the zoo, the Strathholm Zoo, which that's disappointing to me. Why are people messaging me? Why are these people messaging me? Don't care. All right. What was I saying? I've heard you've become quite adept with all technology, young James. Perhaps you could take a look at my computer where I do my writing. It's been acting up again. I might have caught some ancient malware. Whoops. That's the next chapter. Don't look at that. Yeah, of course. Right after my morning chores. I'll come by. Thank you, James. I'll go see. About her evening excursion. Tim's face. Blah! No, Dave. No, Dave. They don't have to keep them hidden. Because it's to the government is junk. But they're just repurposing it. So it's sort of I'm like sort of showing that like this tech is old. Smartphones are old. No one uses this shit anymore because it's all implanted in their head. I'm sort of alluding to that fact, but without saying it outright. So for now, I'm just setting up the idea. Like, what? Why aren't people using? Is technology verboten? No. What is when I say that they've eschewed technology, I'm talking about the brain implants. They've eschewed technology inside a human being. They want to be pure humans. I haven't gotten to that part yet, but we're gonna get there quite soon. Now I'll go see Penelope over there about her evening excursion. With that, Elder Hollis picked up what remained of his breakfast and sidled over. Tim blushed at the mention, as he'd been developing a crush on her for some time. Oh, you know what? This is a good. It is a creepy tyrannical government. We'll get to them, but right now I'm setting up outside the government. These people are living in a way that we can relate to. They have sort of. They're obviously more family and commune oriented, so it might seem a little bit crazy, but this is going to seem like as close to what we would know as normal after I show the city life, which in the next chapter is called Raid because the commune gets raided and James gets pulled out and forced to get the implant, and we'll go through that whole process. For now, though, we want to stick to the commune, and I want to allude to the fact began to sidle over to another table. So I was going to establish this relationship about Penelope, but I think it's better to poke the fact that the Elder Hallis has had the implants. James noticed tried hard not to stare at the grotesque scar behind Elder Hollis's ear, from where he had... Should Elder Hollis be a girl? I didn't establish that, did I? It doesn't matter. From where he had... No, all of these are men now. I feel like I should mix it up. Did I reference Hollis as a woman before? I thought I did. No, I referenced it as men. I'm trying to be gender conscious. Conscious. Elder Hollis seems more like a woman to me anyways. Just saying. Yeah, and in case you can't tell, I make up the characters on the fly, and then I sort of have to go back and make sure that they're consistent. This should be part of the editing process, though. I shouldn't be doing it now. Picked up his plate and began to receive. See, I didn't reference their sex there. This is what I hate about the English language, is that it forces you to reference gender, whereas there in a lot of other languages you don't have to, like Finnish, for example, or Swedish. Okay. Elder Hollis is definitely a girl. There we go. James tried hard not to stare at the grotesque scar behind Elder Hollis's ear, from where she had surgically removed. We need a name for the implant. Something that implies surveillance. Welcome to my best friend. This is the source. Spy. Emissary. I like that. We're going to go with emissary. I think that sounds cool. Emissary implant. Where she had surgically removed the emissary implant. Let me just double check the definition of emissary. Deputy. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. The implication being that everyone who has the emissary implant is deputized into the government. That's going to work. That's going to work real well. James tried hard not to stare at the grotesque scar behind Elder Hollis's ear, from where she had surgically removed the emissary implant. Grotesque scar behind Elder Hollis's ear, leading to the back of her neck. James tried hard not to stare at the grotesque scar behind Elder Hollis's ear, leading to the back of her neck, where she had surgically removed the emissary implant. How someone could endure that level of pain and such a delicate operation at the same time baffled him. Learned about the procedure. School. He had the utmost respect and was very, very happy that he would never have to go through such a process. Radeon? I can't use Radeon anyways, because then I get sued. Because the Radeon chip is the that's AMD's chip, isn't it? AMD Radeon. AMD Radeon. Yep, they're on the AMD Radeon 7 graphics chip. All right. James looked up from his thoughts and saw that Tim was blushing. You still got a crush. Still got a crush on Penelope? James asked. Tim nodded slowly. Pulled his shirt up to cover his face, realizing his emotions were shown. Realizing he staring at her so long that she had looked back. Yeah, I think the emissary implant, that's sounds quite sinister and definitely gives the vibe of what I'm looking for in terms of that. By the way, if you guys are interested in Alpha Warcraft 3, the Ablehawk has like a series on that, which I recommend. I don't know, maybe you guys are from Ablehawk actually, because I know that I got a lot of people coming here from him. You've still got a crush on Penelope, James asked. Tim nodded slowly and pulled his shirt up to cover his face, realizing he was staring at her so long that she had looked back. She stuck out her tongue. Causing Elder Alice to also glance over, at which point Tim completely pulled his head into his shirt like a snapping turtle. You know you can just talk to her. Right, Tim? Shut up, James. Tim sighed wistfully. Turned and got up from the table. Recycle what was left of his meal for pig slop. Yeah, Alduar was a whole continent, yeah. Yeah, I'm sad Metzen left Blizzard. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, he wanted to be with his family. No, it does make sense. I totally respect his decision to do that. All right, Tim. I'm almost done. I'm gonna write for a little bit more and try to sort of wrap up this chapter. And then I don't know when the next time I'll stream this writing, but the idea is that I will do one chapter every time I stream. One, two, three, four. So we're at 1,700 words. How many words are in a novel these days? Novel number of words average. Let's check. 60,000 to 80,000. So at this rate, if I have roughly, I mean, this is going to be 2,000. I have about I think I have 25 chapters. 28 chapters times 28. 56,000. Yeah, I'm definitely going to hit that. So I like my outline. I'm going to stick with it as much as I can because my tendency in the past has been to break out of my outline and go in all these different directions, and that tends to really, really F up the writing process. Shut up, James. Tim sighed wistfully as he turned and got up from the table to recycle what was left of his meal for pig slop and return the plates to the washing area. James laughed. James chuckled as he finished. Heard you went out the walls last night. Oh, he can't be Father Cyber Demon. That'd be hilarious though. How about Frego? Heard you went out the walls last night, Father Frego. Said in his stern but joyful voice. Heard you. I just wanted to get. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I heard you were named. Frego. Frego smile beamed. Oh, losing my descriptive abilities for some reason. Frego couldn't hide. Smile. as he tended to whatever the topic of the city. No more people in the chat for that. Oh. Boy. Okay. I'm being messaged. It's totally distracting. I should turn that off. No. Fergo immediately went cool as he tended to whenever the topic of the city came up. Fergo preferred to avoid talking about the city so much that he got off for records and left James with his mother. She sighed. You know, the city is too dangerous. What? That's not true. There's no little requiring implant. Hey, Dagan. The novel is called 2084. It's sort of like a homage to 1984. In this world, the year is 2084. James is living in a commune with his family and many brothers and sisters. He's been out exploring. He picked up some old smartphones, which is like outdated technology. And I've been alluding to an implant. Actually, I think I said it straight up. Where's it? Emissary? What did I call it? Shoot, implant. There it is. The emissary implant. I've now introduced the idea of the emissary implant, something that one of the elders in the commune removed themselves, surgically removed from their own brain, and that Elder Hollis went on to start the commune. And now James is learning a little bit about what's been going on in the city. So there's no law requiring implants. James remembered quite well from his history study. It's not no such law. The name government. I think Tim threw out the name chaos, but I didn't like that name. Because the government is not chaos. It is not chaotic at all. It is tyrannical. So a name that inspires the idea of tyranny would actually be a good name for the government. Let's go to my friend Thesaurus again. Tyranny. Dominion would be good. Despot. Autocracy. Oppression. Imperium. Oh, no, I can't use Imperium. That's Warhammer. What is monocracy? That's an interesting word. I've never seen that before. Absolutism. Isn't this monarchy? Rule or government by a single person. Oh, that would be an interesting twist. What if it's a monocracy led? Yeah, and then I can allude to that there is some single entity that is part of. Yeah, monocratic. Is that a word? Can I say that? Let's look it up. Monocratic. Government by only one person. Yeah. No, it's not. Autarkic. Absolute sovereignty. Autark government. Autark. Ooh, I like that better. Autark government. I find that it's better to just name things after what you want them to be. So I had the name for the government up here, government name. Otherwise, we would be no better than the autark. The autark who enforce their binding rules upon the populace. I'm going to have to say government. Otherwise, we would be no better than the autark government who enforces their binding rules upon the populace. James gave a sigh of relief and Tim relaxed, his eyes refocusing on Elder Hollis after having been closed in anticipation of utter doom. The easing of tension after that revelation was palpable, and James felt a growing love for Elder Hollis and the entire community of Zendu. Zendu is the village, the commune village. That's not true. There's no law requiring implantation. James remembered quite well from his history study that no such law existed in the autark government. However, and opened her screen phone to show James a picture. Mind slide. A mind slide was a photographic image people with the emissary implant could take in their mind. The Iron Guard. Yeah, if you have a link, something that you think represents the Iron Guard pretty well, or a history site, or even a video or something, I'll definitely research that before I get to the next chapter. A mind slide was a photographic image that people with the emissary implant could take in their mind. James looked at the picture in horror as he realized what it stated. It was a rewrite of a law. The emissary implant was indeed mandatory for all people. Previously, it had been installed. Thank you. Held for review. Show. Thank you. Oh, that's a lot of reading. All right, I'll have to get to that later. Oh, in fact, I'm supposed to be done. I was only supposed to spend an hour with this. Actually, I want to finish this chapter, so I'm going to finish this chapter. Previously, it had been installed at the age of 16. Age which same age as James was now. However, over time, the age in which it was considered safe to install had been lowered. And though there was no requirement forcing people to install it, its removal was almost impossible, primarily because no doctor wanted to be associated with emissary removal surgery. It was both extremely dangerous, thus resulting in many deaths, and highly frowned upon by the populace as the autarch government had been spreading propaganda that those without the implant were ruthless beasts who could not tell right from wrong. James, of course, knew better. See, James, that's why you can't go city. They'll implant you soon as they find out you're pure. James shuddered. Shuddered at the thought. Actually, you know what? This is a really good stopping point. I want to read about the Iron Guard, and we can continue the novel. Wow, that's a really good start. 2,000 words. Roughly each chapter needs to be a little bit over 2,000 words. And I think it flows really well. I'm going to put this up on Gamer Hate. Yeah, I'm going to put this up on Gamer Hate. For anyone who missed it, I know it's hard to read on a screen and all that. Oops, I need to log in as an admin. Not admint. It's one of those days. Wait, did I take down my own site? No, there it is. Oh, I gotta log in. Log in. Oh. Title 2084, Chapter 1, The Commune. Boop. Oh dear, that's a lot of text. It didn't format correctly. Oh jeez. All right, it's a little bit of a mess to read. I'm sorry about that, but just in the interest of having it somewhere. Can I publish this? Why can't I publish this? Save draft. Publish. Go, go, go. Oops, I meant to categorize this as writing. I gotta add a new category. Writing. Not uncategorized. Update. Update. All right, gamer hate. Yep, there it is. All right, I'm sorry, it's a total mess. It didn't keep any of the indentations or whatnot. But anyways, you can go there and read what I wrote. And that's chapter 1 and chapter 2. I don't know when I'm going to get to this. I think it has to be a weekend thing because I'm busy with my I'm working on Wasteland 3 now, on the weekdays. So and that pretty much takes up all my writing time. So I think that this will be a weekend endeavor. And what I'm going to try to do is actually do 2 days on the weekends, do Saturday, Sunday. Now that I've set this all up, yesterday was all like pre-work, which is this is my writing process where I write the core concept here, usually a little tiny blurb, like what's the basic idea, and then I write sort of chapter outlines. It's just like 1 or 2 words, but it basically gives me the idea of like what I want to address in each chapter. So that's my writing process. So it's a little 3 pages for a novel, and then it becomes a novel, and then I will try to publish this. I've not been successful with trying to publish in the past. I'm trying harder these days because I don't know. I think my writing's pretty good. I've certainly been doing it long enough, at least in games. But I guess game writing and novel writing are different things. And I have, despite 20 years of writing for games, I have no respect whatsoever from the writing industry. Like I cannot get a publisher to save my life. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna end the stream now, and hopefully next weekend I'll continue with the novel Saturday and Sunday. I don't know what time. Maybe a little bit. What time is it in the U.S. right now? It's 2 a.m. I definitely will try to start earlier next time so that it's not quite so late in the U.S. or early, however you want to do it. Maybe like a 10 p.m. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's possible. I could start at noon. All right, thanks for joining me. Talk to you later. Now I can't find the OBS. There it is. All right.